different time. I mean, the authorities were probably notified at some point, but basically several passengers got together and covered the body and carried her to a nearby house. He said blood was dripping everywhere. It left a big bloody pool where she was laying, and Major Whittle said to Peter, he said, "Do you know that is all Jesus Christ left on this earth? His body rose for our justification, but his blood was left to atone for our sins." And Peter immediately replied, "Yes, Major, and that is what gives me sweet peace, just to know for certain that his blood atones for my sin." And he said it was at that moment when those words came out of his mouth, sweet peace, he said, "I knew that song." He got back on the train and he had the words to the song, Sweet Peace, the gift of God's love. It was published in one of his hymnals in 1888 and has been a beloved hymn ever since. He was able to put into song the words that he could not formulate. And it was the thought of the blood of Christ and the peace that that gives him, meaning this world, it's crazy, and you don't know what's going to happen day to day, and you don't know what your life's going to be, and it's amazing what lack of control we have in our circumstances. But it always gave him a peace to know that no matter what, his sins were covered under the blood of Christ. And what I want to do tonight is I want to give you a different vantage point of God's peace as is found in the Psalms. Though mostly written by David, they are a collection of works that a variety of godly men wrote. Asaph wrote several of them. Some of them we're not 100% sure who wrote them. There's good guesses and theories. Can't say for certainty who wrote all of them. But all of them were godly men inspired by the Lord. And in these Psalms, there's actually quite a bit to be said of the peace of God, especially as it relates directly to us. So first thing tonight is this in Psalm chapter 4. Our peace is directly related to our trust in the Lord. Psalm 4 is written by David. It's believed to be an extension of Psalm 3. And so if you were to go back and read Psalm 3, it's believed by most that these two were tied together. The word neganoth here that sometimes you'll see on these, it refers to some type of a stringed instrument. I don't think anybody knows exactly what it is, but it was some type of a stringed instrument. And so it appears that this song was intended to be sung with that particular instrument. Charles Spurgeon considered the previous song, Psalm 3, he called that the morning psalm, and he called this the evening hymn. And the occasion of the psalm, the context of it, we don't know for sure, but many commentators kind of believe this is a sequel to the previous one, meaning that it was written for Mahanaim. When David was in Gilead, he had fled from Absalom. His life was in absolute jeopardy. And so